Alright, so I showed this gun a little bit. It's a Remington Model 11 that a buddy of mine that I work with asked me to take a look at. It wasn't feeding, well, it wasn't chambering, it was double feeding. I mean, this thing had all kinds of problems. I did a little short showing how dirty it was. I was hoping by cleaning that up that would fix the problem. It ended up having a broke piece inside there for a link. They call it a link. Bolt link was broke. So I replaced that. Bought a Browning one because I was under the impression that this is a clone of a Browning A5, but without the cartridge stop or block where you can, make it feed one at a time. Turns out that no, Browning and Remington's, the Browning A5 and this Remington Model 11 are not the same. I was able to fit it, made it work, works fine. But apparently this thing got dirty, and it was probably not feeding right, stuff like that. And so whoever had it before my buddy bought it, to me it looked like they'd just been spraying PB Blast or whatever they had inside there to keep it running because it was so dirty. And over time of just doing that, that stuff built up in there. Then with the powder residue in there, with dirt in there, it turned to so thick, almost like cosmoline. And with all that grit in there, there was all kinds of internal parts in here that were literally like somebody sanded them down. They were just, it wouldn't run. So I didn't know a lot about this, and of course I jumped on YouTube because I wanted to learn more about this gun before I tore into it and worked on it. I needed to know how it come apart, how it worked, all that. And when I did, I ran across these two videos that you're going to see right here.
8. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum, and today we're going to take a look at one of my cool firearms that is not actually historically correct. I've accumulated a number of interesting custom guns over the years, and I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of video on them, because they're all interesting in their own unique ways. So, I refer to this as a Remington Auto 8, which is a designation that never actually historically existed.
We're filming this Rhodesian A5 shotgun.
Rhodesian? I thought we say Zimbabwe now.
Do we? What are you doing down there? Get back to work.
Now, after watching them two videos, I talked to my buddy who I got this from. He'd never shot this, and I asked him, I said, look, is there any way I can talk you out of that shotgun? I told him up front, I can buy parts, we can make this thing work again, but I don't know how much money you're going to have into it. I said, I would like to work a deal out with you. I ended up trading one of my pistols off for it. He definitely got the better end of the deal, but when this is done, I'll be 100% happy. But I told him I can probably weld the parts up and then work them down with a file, but if I screw them up, you're going to have to buy the parts anyway. When we started figuring it out, it looked like if I had to buy the parts, it was going to be $250 or more just for the parts. So I talked him into trading me. I'm going to turn this into a Rhodesian A5, or like Ian's Remington Auto 8. I don't know. I like old guns. You probably know that from watching this channel. I really like unusual guns, and that's unusual. I've never seen one of them before until I started researching this. And I was just like, I really need one of them for my collection. I have another tube, I think it's for a Remington 870. My idea is to turn the inside end about 1 inch of the existing tube in here. Take this other tube, cut it off whatever length I need it, turn the outside diameter down where this will slide inside it, and then solder it together so that it's one piece. I think it'll be strong enough, and that will be my extended tube. This, I believe, is just soldered on. The barrels on these were on the original A5s or Rhodesian A5s, I believe, were like 23 inches long. This one's going to be like 21 and a half, almost 22 if I pull this compensator off. So that's fine. It'll be close enough. Like I said, I'm not trying to pass this off as, I'm not going to try and pass this off as a original Rhodesian A5. I just wanted that 8-shot tube, semi-automatic, riot-type shotgun, or military-style shotgun. I've got this thing. It's running fairly reliably. Still need to fit them internal parts a little bit better. A buddy of mine welded them up for me. It took him 20 minutes or so to weld them up. I have about 10 hours putting this thing together, trying it, taking it apart, literally 2 or 3 file strokes, putting it back together, trying it until I got it to run like you've seen in that short. And it's running pretty reliably. I think I just need to just a little bit more work, another hour's worth of work, and I think I'll have it. It just, like I said, it's a pretty cool gun. I think I'm going to like it a whole lot better when I get done with it. Some people think I'm nuts for taking a gun like this and doing that, but hey, it's winter time. It's getting too cold to shoot. This is when I do my projects. Last year I did the drilling, a couple Cape guns. All of them I picked up, had to do some work on and that. So this is the project I'm going to work on when I get done with this. Then I think I'm going to move to the 45-70 double barrel rifle. But I just figured I'd share this with you a little bit. Tell you a little bit of the backstory on this. What led to why I'm doing what I'm doing. There's probably not going to be a lot of progress on this right away. I got a couple bills I got to catch up on. Work's been work, but Christmas hit, furnace took a crap. So, got to get tires on my truck. So I got a few things to catch up on, and then we'll get going on this. I'm going to buy, when it gets time to do it, 2 new handguards. You can buy them. They're made by Boyd's. Graft the 2 together to make one long enough, because you cannot find the handguards anywhere, the Rhodesian ones. Them are $80 a piece for the handguards. So by the time you ship them and that, you might as well say it's going to be $200 for the handguards. $15-20 for a Mossberg 88 Wolf extra power spring, which should fit the 8-shot tube perfect. Other than that, I think for about $250 I can do this. So this tube is a little bit too big around diameter wise to fit in my lathe, so I'm gonna have to go to my buddy's machine shop and do the lathe work on his lathe. But like I said, 250, let's guess it high. If I have to buy a couple other little things, say $300, I'm going to have me a Rhodesian A5. I think it's going to be really cool. And as I get to working on it, I will post updates. You guys tell me what you think in the comments, and hope everybody has a great day.